Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 366 Days of Hope. My name is Pearl, and I'm here to share our next topic, which is making marriages last. So there's a lot to keeping a relationship. And one of the things that I think that we have to learn in marriage is realizing that the other person has their own autonomy. Everyone has a choice to stay or go. We are not to manipulate them to stay, but we're also not to force them to stay. And the thing is, when you are in a healthy marriage relationship, you are in such a healthy state that there's so much freedom in it that you wouldn't want to leave. And that's the environment that you actually want to create for your spouse. Like, sure, do you want your spouse to feel like they're constantly tethered to you? No. But would you want them to want to be tethered to you? Absolutely. And how do you create that kind of environment? I think the thing is, when we allow our fears of being, alone to get the best of us, then sometimes we kind of overcompensate where we're going to want to do things to cause them to stay. And here's a good example. I remember I had an insecurity early on in my marriage where I was really afraid of being deserted, because I've often been deserted when I was younger. So that kind of transferred on into my relationship. And I would do things or say things like, okay, fine, I see you clearly don't want to stay here. Or it'll be just like these little snide comments. And those little comments revealed a lot of my own insecurities. And my husband ended up addressing that with me. And he, comforted me by saying, listen, I'm not like everyone else in your life who walked away. I'm not going to walk away. He goes, but I need you to realize that when you say those kinds of things, he goes, you make it easy for someone to want to walk away. And I was like, whoa, I've never heard someone say that to me. I didn't know that what I'm saying or what I'm doing makes it easy for someone to want to leave. And it's because I'm projecting from a place of hurt, a place of insecurity. And so if you want to make your marriage relationship last, my suggestion is really addressing those hurts and those pains and making sure that you aren't projecting or making it easy for someone to want to leave because of the comments that you make, and or the behaviors that you do. So that was a huge revolution for me in my marriage, was creating an environment where my spouse loves to be around me and wants to be around me. And we're very different individuals. We're not always around each other all the time, but we tend to be the type of people who like to be in vicinity of each other while we're doing something. And so knowing that the other person is nearby is just comfort enough. And I think it's important that we address, again, those insecurities that we may have, that we're not projecting them onto, the people in our lives. Another thing is really, like I said, creating the environment. And to be able to do that, we have to be willing to let down our hair sometimes, and realize that we don't have to always be on the lookout. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean by that, where you are constantly fearing for the next shoe to drop or something's happening, but being able to create that environment where you're just like, oh, I can relax. I don't have to fear. And it's hard for us, like I said before, it's hard for traumatized individuals to develop that, because they've often had to be on their guard all the time. If their family always made them feel like they're always on edge because one little thing is going to cause their parent to snap, then that's going to create an insecurity that nothing is perfect, or that they have to create an environment where everything is perfect. And that creates obviously a high stress. And so creating an environment where you could just let your hair down and just be like, you know what, I'm safe. I am good. And when you find someone who tells you that you're in a good space, trust that they are wanting you to believe that you're in a good space and that they genuinely care about you. And what I've discovered is that you have to look at their character. what has their character often told you? And you have to look at it from the big picture and not from just the minute little things that you want to nitpick about people. And that's been like a problem that I've had, because I feel like I was always criticized as a young child and with everything that I had to do. So then I often would want to nitpick at other people and criticize everybody as well, because I felt like, well, I'm being criticized, I need to criticize. And that's not a healthy or mature behavior, but I think it just becomes sort of part of us when you've established that as a young child, and then you have to unlearn it, and unlearning takes some process. So be kind to yourself as you're trying to develop it, but if you want a healthy, long-lasting marriage, make sure you take in those important points of not projecting your own insecurities and trying to create an environment that is inviting, that your spouse wants to be a part of. And also, you want to make sure that you are allowing yourself to embrace the environment of kind of letting your hair down and not being kind of stuck in this, mindset of, oh, I'm constantly on the defense, right? So make sure that you're not behaving in that way either, and that you sense that there is a beautiful environment that you have created, and embrace that environment. So guys, I hope and wish for nothing more than healthy relationships for you guys. And with that said, may you live, thrive, and be healthy. Take care, guys. Bye.